What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of KJ HAMLER's best route running from his game against the Steelers. We're going to be talking about how to make sure that we're able to cut on a dime, how to create some separation at the top of the route when we're able to switch this DB and get his hips turned, and then how we're able to work to restack on an out route when we're attacking leverage. Okay, so some great key points that you guys can learn and just really help your overall skills at the receiver position and help you guys be able to build at the receiver position and learning all the techniques that go into it. And guys, if you're a receiver and you want to get better hands, you want to improve your catching ability without having a quarterback there to throw you that football, check out that link in the description. It says improve your hands in 30 days. It's a full 30-day program to improve your grip strength and hand-eye coordination, give you drill-specific exercises, don't require a quarterback at all. If you have a quarterback, we have alternative options within the plan as well. Check out that link in the description. Let's get started. So first things first, we're going to be looking at this out route here. We're going to be talking about how he's able to push vertical, get this DB to turn his hips, why he attacked this angle, and how he's able to just snap it off right now and get out of this break. So let's watch it full speed one more time. So you see how he's coming off here. Again, pushing vertical, great pad level, no freaking indicator, guys. That's why I love this damn route. That's why I like any route that guys are able to run and they're able to keep it. I know this is a little blurry. I apologize for that clip, but it gets a little bit clearer at the top, so that's mainly where we're going to focus anyways. But look at this pad level here. 45-degree angle almost with this pad level. Staying in stride, that's what's going to get this DB to turn. That's what's going to get that DB to run and going to get him to be at least opened up. You know what I mean? Especially if we attack that inside right here, attack this like right shoulder to try to get him to turn those hips and try to get us to run with him. Because if we get him to turn his hips and we break it off and we get out, we're there, right? We should be at a point, fellas, that the DB doesn't do something right, we do something wrong, and that's why the DB wins, right? If we know all these techniques, we could just start applying them, and we could really focus on selling vertical, making the move to the top, accelerating out. The DB should not win if we do everything right, but we would. And that's just how our mindset has to be, right? We know all these techniques. We know what we have to do. So in this kind of scenario, if we push vertical, if I keep a 45-degree angle pad level, I stride it out, I pump my arms, and I make it look like a fade, I make it look like I'm just going to run straight by this guy here, I could cut it off right now. And you see how violent he is with this snap, right? Then he's 2, 3 out of this break, and you see how this DB here, he wants to open up those hips, but that's slow, right? The thing that would make it a little bit faster is if he speed turns out of here, but again, it would take too long because he'd have to bow it out, and we'd already be accelerated out and right down to that sideline, right? So we got to make sure that if we can sell vertical, guys, even with the speed turn or the DB doesn't speed turn, we're going to be able to get separation if we do it right. And you see again how fast he's able to get out of this break. In stride, snaps it off, 2, 3, and he drives off of this leg, snapping that head around. I want you to see his arms. You see how his arms are ripping him here. Your arms will commit your hips, right? If you guys have a problem of getting into a break and you break this thing off and then you drift upfield almost like a corner, right? If you could break this thing off and you snap or you make this hard one single cut and you just cut right here, and you take this right arm in this situation and like almost swing it behind yourself, like try to elbow somebody behind you, that will get your hips down that line, and that will get you to be able to drive out of there with your arms and accelerate, and that will get your hips turned so you have a much nicer, tighter break, okay? If you create energy at the top and use your arms to widen the gap and keep that separation, that's the entire goal of this thing, right? And you see, again, he's accelerating out even towards the sideline. Quarterback's putting this ball on the sideline. They've worked it before. Let's accelerate. Let's widen the gap with this DB and then be able to make this play right on the sideline. That's a great route here by HAMLER. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. So, coming off here, pushing vertical, breaking it off right on a dime, make sure I rip my arms out and I accelerate off of this break. That's a great route right here, okay? So now we're going to be looking at these at the top of the screen, running this dig. We're going to be talking about how we want to catch this thing in traffic over the middle or when it's maybe not the most accurate throw in the world, how we can protect this ball, and just what he decided to do here. So they work this kind of like switch. They kind of work this like switch concept where they cross here, or not, I wouldn't say like a switch concept, but Slide here's running it out, and then he's going to be running a dig right here. So again, we're trying to make sure that these DBs switch it off. And this DB already opened up his hips when HAMLER came off the line and did this. So when his hips are open, all you got to make sure we do is we keep him there. And we maybe force a speed turn, we force him to open up like this, and it's slow, but we're able to get separation because his hips are already turned. If you get his hips already turned, and he's trying to force you to that sideline, and you're in open space like this, comes right up to him here, he closes this gap with him and then just throws that jab to the outside. And it's just sudden, something with your head, something with your shoulders to get this DB to jump to the outside, and then we break it right back underneath him. And especially when he doesn't have hands, but he's going to use this right hand to recover. You see how HAMLER just swats and chops him by, then his hips lock out. Now he's got to open up and start back from square zero. When you're here and you give him that 1-2, or you give him that left-right in this situation, you get his hips to open up, he's going to throw that right hand to try to recover, and then if you could just chop it by, swat, and rip out, that's going to make his hips lock out, and that's going to get us more separation just because of simply using your hands to swat him by, okay? So I hope that makes sense. And again, like I said, if any of this doesn't make sense, you guys don't hesitate to leave something in the comments, questions. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, as soon as I can. We just got to make sure that we're physical at the top of the route. Don't let the DB get the hands on you. If you turn his hips and you're in open space, that should be easy money. Again, we got to do everything right, and the DB's got no chance. If we do something wrong, that's when the DB's got a chance. We throw my upper body, stick that thing off, head and shoulder fake to the outside, then accelerate back in. This is a great rider. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So he's coming out here, jab, accelerate back over the middle. Great rider by Hamler. Now again, on the catch, fellas, I want to talk about this too. I almost forgot. When we go up over the middle and it's a poor throw, let's catch it and let's protect the dang ball. So what a lot of people will do is that this thing's high over the middle. He's got to jump and then they'll hold this thing outside of their frame, or they'll get popped right here and then the ball will pop out. We got to make sure that when I go up and catch this thing, I go up secure it. I have a strong grip. I go up secure the catch, and then I pull this thing away. You see how Hamler, I know this is kind of a high angle, but you see how when he catches it, he pulls it away. He pulls this thing away from any threat. So there's a threat here, threat here. Let's pull it away. Let's protect the ball. Make sure I catch it. Make sure I go up strong. I catch its highest point. My eyes are following this thing. In this situation, I catch it at its highest point, right, because it's a high ball over the middle. And then I put this thing away. Secure it, put it away, make sure we don't have any threats coming at that ball. It's a great job. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So I want to make sure we talked about that catch. So again, we throw it, swat the hands by, go up, and pull that thing away. Great rider by Hamler. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about how he's able to restack this DB, what his thought process was here, and with this safety rolling down kind of, okay? So you see how this safety comes down here, and he's playing him in this like almost man look, right? Like this off man look. So what do you think we got to do in off man? This is something that I teach my receivers all the dang time. What do we got to do if it's off man, whether he's inside leverage, whether he's head up? What do you think you have to do? And you guys should be asking yourself these questions as you're going through film, right? So you're sitting there, you're watching on your iPad, computer, whatever it is, phone, and you're watching your opponent next week, right? This is mainly for high school, college guys. You should be looking at your opponent being like, okay, how could I attack him here? How could I attack him here? This is something I could do. This is something I could do. And that's the situations that we work with. When I work with my receivers, we will literally sit there and we'll talk about it. I would rather have you guys understand the reason why than just put you through a series of stupid drills that aren't going to teach you the reason why behind it, right? Yeah, the technique will get better 100%. I'm not knocking that. But you guys got to understand when to use it. Because if you have the technique but you don't know when to use it, you ain't going to use it. That's like a quarterback having a cannon of an arm, but he doesn't know how to read the defense, so he's just going to drop back and just play a guessing game, right? And it's not going to work. You can't play at a high level like that, fellas. You got to know the reasons why behind it. You hear when you watch videos of some of the best route runners like Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Doug Baldwin was another great video. I'm sure you guys have all seen that one where they talk about like their thought process, and they talk about, I understand this DB. I look at the coverage. I look at all that. It ain't just running routes, fellas. You guys got to understand what's going on and what you're looking for. So when we get a DB who's an off man like this, what we got to do is we got to attack the damn leverage. We got to try to get him on his heels. We got to try to get him to keep that leverage. So you see how Hamler comes off here and he gives him that move, right? He attacks, you see how he angles his stem to that midline. And now he closes the gap and gives him that hard cut to the outside, just gets this DB to lean. But now if we attack his leverage and let's say he's inside leverage and he keeps his leverage, okay, fine. Look at all the space that we just got. We attack his leverage. He keeps his leverage to the inside. I'm creating space from him and the sideline, and that's what I need to be able to do. And you see how he comes off here, gives him that move, and then he works to restack. You see how he reestablishes himself over the top. He gives that 1-2, reestablishes over the top to try to sell like he's pushing vertical again to get this DB to turn his hips. Then he snaps it off. And again, what do we got to be able to do right here? Accelerate, rip that arm around so I could get 90, but also so I could run out of this break. And if I could run out of this break and widen the gap, I could catch this thing and be able to make a play. It's a great rider by Hamler. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So again, inside leverage, attack his leverage, try to get him to maybe keep his leverage or backpedal. I throw that 1-2, I close the gap, then I burst up 1-2 second inside like he does right here and break this thing off, okay? Make sure we attack leverage. Make sure we know the reason why behind the move that we're doing. Let's watch it again full speed. So he's coming at him here to give that jab and break this thing off. Make sure we establish myself back over the top. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, please leave those in the comments. And if you want to get better hands, don't have a quarterback, do have a quarterback, whatever it is, but if you want a hands program, 30 days of freaking workouts for your grip strength and for your hand-eye coordination, just overall repetition, check out that link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.